What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at the new Star Wars Unlimited set, Secrets of Power. This was revealed properly at the Galactic Championships this past weekend. I was there. I watched reveal in person. I then went to a panel where I heard a couple of the game designers, the designers in charge of the set, leading the set, talk about the set in a bit of detail. So I'm going to be able to add some of that as I go along in here as well. So what do we got from Secrets of Power? Well, if you have a look at the splash art here, what do we see? Well, there's a bit of a prequel trilogy focus. You can obviously see Obi-Wan and Anakin there in their hover car, whatever you want to call it, from episode 2. Although we have been told there is an obvious prequel focus here. We'll have a look at the spotlight decks in a minute, but that's where a lot of the secret power comes from. We got an Andor focus here, as you might expect, and then we've also got Jabba the Hutt just sitting there chilling. When they say power in this context for this set, they're not talking about physical power or force power. They're talking about political power, behind the scenes power. Things are gonna get fun. We've also got a new token, and we got ourselves 2 new mechanics coming along, and we've got a lot of fun stuff indeed. So maybe we should start off having a look at the spotlight leaders, who are Chancellor Palpatine and Padme Amidala. Now, if we start off with Padme here, we've got ourselves a cunning heroic leader, which deploys on 6 resources, or might not. We'll get to that in a minute. And when you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you can exhaust the leader to deal 1 damage to a unit. I like pinging damage, this makes me happy. When you deploy, you are a free 6, and whenever you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. Now, it doesn't say this specifically, but we can figure it out from the wording quite easily. It is every time you reveal 1 or more cards. It is not once per turn. It is not having to exhaust Padme. It doesn't say any limit here. It is when you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. Before you deploy, you have to exhaust. After deploying, you don't. But it's not going to be if you discard 2 cards, you deal 2 damage. No. It is every instance of discarding deals 1. So if you discard 3 cards, then 2, that is going to be 2 damage, not 5. Now we then have a bunch of other cards which are going to be helping Padme out, including the signature card here, which is Anakin Skywalker's Secret Husband. We got a free cost, Cunning Heroic, free power, 4 HP, and it comes in hidden, cannot be attacked if it was played this phase. And while you control Padme Amidala either as a leader or a unit, it gains Raid 2. Doesn't just have to be this Padme, any Padme whatsoever will work quite nicely. So a free cost, 5/4 on attack with hidden, that ain't bad. We've then got Furtive Handmaiden. It's a 1 cost 2/2. And on attack, you can discard a card from your hand to draw a card. That means you're going to be cycling, getting towards the cards you want, which is good, but it also means you're discarding a card so the leader's going to do damage. We've got Captain Typho, who comes in as a 4 cost 4/5 Sentinel, although we are here in command, not cunning, so you'll have to add a command base if you want to play this with Padme. And when it is attacked, you may disclose command and heroic. If you do, heal 1 damage from your base. This is one of the new mechanics that we see coming in Secrets of Power. Disclose. Essentially, you are giving away information in your hand in order to gain an advantage. The way the card designers put it was, they want to focus on the hidden zones, like your hand, and you can use this to psych people out. So, for instance, you could show them a card that you have no intention of using, that is always going to end up just being resourced, but then force your opponent to have to rely on it. Or, if you are particularly devious, you can show your opponent the next card you're going to play, knowing that there's nothing they can do about it, and then go and play it anyway. It's up to you how you deal with this, but you just have to show them cards that match those symbols, and it's just showing. It's like paying, but you just show. That's all you do, nothing else. And then the extra skill will activate. So Captain Typho here is a 4-cost 4/5 Sentinel, but when it's attacked, you can disclose cards to heal your base. And then, of course, there's a fun little mind game here where your opponent's trying to decide, well, hang on a second. Does my opponent have the cards to disclose? Do I really want to risk them being able to heal their base when I attack? Bearing in mind you got Sentinel here, so they have to attack into Typho, and then you get to heal your base? Yes. Now we got a new C3PO, a 1-cost. Now, well, these are all command ones I'm showing you here, command heroism. 1 free, and as an action, you can exhaust it, return it to its owner's hand, to give a unit +2/+2 for the phase. But I kind of love this because it's a 1-cost that you put down, and then either your opponent wastes resources getting rid of a 1-cost, or next turn you're going to get a +2/+2 for free. That's kind of awesome. And having free health rather than 1 or 2 does mean it is going to be a fair bit more difficult to ping away. One tiny little bit of ping damage ain't getting rid of C3PO. But then we've got Jar Jar Binks, Senator Binks. Misa propose. 2-cost command, 2 power, 1 health, and this is a fun one. When played, you give another friendly unit +2/+2 for the phase, but it's got the second new keyword, which is plot. Now, the way plot works is when you deploy your leader, and only when you deploy your leader, you can play a card with plot from your resources. You do have to pay, so Jar Jar here would come out as a 2-cost. You have to deploy your leader, and then if you want to play Jar Jar at the same time, you can, but you play it as a 2-cost. Oh. The thing is, what you can do here is deploy your leader, pay 2 to play Jar Jar, use this to buff your leader, doesn't have to be your leader, but it can be, and then your leader is not only brought out here, but brought out with +2/+2. That is what makes plot so gosh darned enticing. And the thing is, you're doing it from your resources. So early in the game, you whack Jar Jar in your resources, and if you get to the point where you deploy your leader, and it makes sense to do so, use plot and deploy your leader with Jar Jar. If, however, you don't need that extra bump, or you've got other plot cards you'd rather use or any other reason, you just leave Jar Jar in your resources. And obviously, if you do deploy Jar Jar, you get to replace it with the top card of your deck, so you're not actually giving up resource. Now, the way the card designers explained it in the panel was, these are going to seem a little bit more expensive than they would be without plot, because plot is essentially drawing you a card. It is giving you one extra card that you have available to use during your turn that you wouldn't have otherwise. A card that would normally just be in your resources and unavailable is now there waiting to be used, so the cards are slightly more expensive than they might otherwise be, so that they can have plot on there as well. And as a side note, one question I had from the reveal, can you plot more than once? Yes. If you've got 2 or 3 cards with plot, as long as you can pay for them when your leader gets deployed, you absolutely can play them all at the same time. You can plot multiple cards out at the same time and really buff your leader up to a ridiculous level. Like a truly ridiculous level. Couple other side notes about plot. Number 1, yeah, this gets more fun in Twin Suns. You got 2 leaders, which means 2 situations where you deploy. Yes, that does give you 2 chances to play your plot cards, which is awesome. And secondly, this could literally change when you deploy your leader. You might be planning to deploy on 5, but if you've got 6 resources worth of cards in your resources that you want to plot, you may instead plot with 6 resources rather than 5, so that you can deploy with 2 cards with plot, making your leader huge. Are we going to get one with Sentinel? I don't know, probably. You got to imagine we are. Are we going to get one that can shield your leader as it comes out? I don't know. But you kind of got to imagine we're going to. We've not been shown many cards with plot, but the whole point of the plot mechanic is to help out your leader as it comes out. So we know we're going to have ones that change the stats. I would imagine we're going to be getting one with Sentinel. That is a guess. It is not confirmed. I cannot stress this enough. I'm going to assume we're getting one that can shield your leader. This is a guess. I cannot stress this enough. I'm going to show you every single card that was revealed and shown off. Anything else is pure supposition. But again, if I'm designing this plot mechanic, yes, there's going to be a Sentinel. Yes, there's going to be one that can shield. Now, the other Spotlight deck we got here was Palpatine. Palpatine is a Vigilance villainy, which is kind of cool. And we've got ourselves deploying on 7, which seems late. And as an action, you can pay 1 and exhaust to search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card with plot and draw it. Okay, that's kind of cool. You're drawing plot cards. And then you can resource them next turn. And one of the cool things this potentially does is essentially, you've got to pay 1 admittedly, but you're using your leader skill to draw the card you're going to be resourcing. So the rest of the cards during your regroup phase, they're just drawing 2, which is honestly kind of busted. Now, deploying on 7 is a little bit late, admittedly, but then you've got a 6/8, and when deployed, the next card you play using plot this phase costs 3 less. So not only can you play cards with plot when you deploy Palpatine, but you're saving 3 resources. If you're deploying Palpatine on 7 resources, and you're saving 3, you can legitimately put this out on your 7 resource turn with 10 resources worth of plot. Yeah. Now, other cards that were shown off with Palpatine, we've got ourselves Cad Bane, a 5-cost Vigilance villainy, 4/5, and we've got plot so it can come out with your leader. And on play, you can defeat a unit with 2 or less remaining HP. This is a classic example of something like plot, because if there is a unit you want to defeat here, plot out Cad Bane. If not, don't. We got the upgrade Armor of Fortune, a 2-cost Vigilance upgrade with plot that just gives you plus 3 HP. So basically, you put this in your resources, deploy your leader, pay 2, your leader's got 3 more HP. That's huge. Corrupt Politician is just a 1-cost command villainy 2/2, and it gets Sentinel while you have more units than an opponent. But bearing in mind, a lot of people turn 1 are going to play a 2-cost unit, so if you play this on another 1-cost, you can have Sentinel early. When has become now a 1-cost, play a card with plot from your resources paying its cost, put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Now, the way it's actually worded would mean that you can not play a card with plot and just use this as a 1 card to ramp a resource. I have not seen any official word, but I've heard people say that an errata is planned. That is not official, but it seems to be the card will actually only give you a resource when you play a card with plot. Don't play a card with plot, don't get the resource. Now, I Am the Senate is a 6-cost command villainy. Create 5 spy tokens. What's a spy token? This is a spy token. It is a 0/2 with raid 2. Now, what the card designer said in the panel was, this is not a 2/2. It is a 2/2 on attack, but it's an 0/2 on defense. So they can cost it appropriately. They can let you have this in situations where they wouldn't give you a 2/2 token. An 0/2 with raid 2 is worth a little bit less, but that means it can be given out. You know, I Am the Senate was never going to give you 5 2/2s, but 5 0/2s with raid 2, well, that's very different. Also, thematically, this is beautiful because spies are great when you don't know they're there. When you do know they're there, they're quite easily taken out. Thematically, beautiful. The other thing they said about Palpatine was, and this is a direct quote, The official trait matters a lot. I don't know what that means, but the card designer said the official trait, which Palpatine the leader has, matters a lot. Actually, to be fair, Padme has the official trait as well. Both the leaders do. And the spy does. And corrupt politician does, actually, for what it's worth. And Jar Jar does. I don't know exactly what it means, but apparently, look out for that. That means quite a lot. Now, somewhat annoyingly, there were 3 more cards revealed, and I'm going to have to show you the image from TCG Player. They were only revealed in the panel I went to, the panel about Secrets of the Force. But annoyingly, even though I was in the panel, could not get a good look at them. Did not get a good look. Have to use the image. So shout out TCG Player for sharing this. I was in the panel. I could not get a good enough photo. I was too far back. But we got Major Partagaz here, a 2-cost command villainy 06 with Overwhelm. And when another friendly official unit attacks, this unit gets +2/+2 for the phase. So you attack with an official unit quickly, and this becomes a 2/8 with Overwhelm. Not terrible. Kadal Connix is a 3-cost aggression heroism, 3/2, and it's got plot. And when played, you may defeat all non-unique upgrades on a unit. So again, if you've got a unit of a bunch of shields or experience tokens or whatever, this can take them all out. Otherwise, leave it in the resources. And then we've got Marva Andor. Yeah, that's right. She comes out now. And what we got here is a 3-cost heroism, 3/4, and when defeated, give an experience token to each friendly rebel unit. So, play a bunch of rebels. This could be very, very, very nice indeed. Those are the cards that were revealed. This set is looking awesome. I am very excited about this set. Obviously, having the Andor theme is brilliant. Having a prequel trilogy focus makes me personally extremely happy. Everything about this is making me psyched. Now, we got to wait until the 7th of November. It's not coming out that soon, I'm afraid. But when we get to the 7th of November, things are looking good. Excellent. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Star Wars Unlimited and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.